Number 7. This one has been described by its author as some kind of poem thing, question mark. I don't know, I'd probably call it a narrative poem, maybe. It takes a bit of inspiration from the Machine of Death series. So if you've read that or are familiar with it, then you might be able to follow it. This one's called Puzzle Inn. It's written by Vex. It's intensely political. I love it to bits. Puzzle Inn. Puzzle Inn, it read. Puzzle Inn, he asked, but still. Puzzle Inn, it read. Russ was puzzled. Puzzle Inn was not an answer. Puzzle Inn was not a solution. But most of all, Puzzle Inn was not a death. But with every glance the slip of paper would not change. Perhaps it was an error? Puzzle Incorporated were not particularly known for quality. It was a surprise when the media picked up his plight, since the production of the death-reading machines, parables of their more bizarre predictions would populate certain channels of the news and social media. In consideration, his was certainly one of the stranger cases. Being one with a predilection for puzzles, Russ followed many of these stories. Every news feed, regardless of anything, had a place for its followers to propose postulations to predicate the meanings of those pieces of fate. Russ had a notebook, small and black, that held his tally. He had 5 in total. 5. It doesn't seem like much, but when you're collecting other people's lifetimes and your own, 5 is quite a good effort. Bluff, B-L-U-F, had been an unfortunate incident in the breeches and leather uniform fan club, the kind of homosexual deviant sex act death most ill-befitting of a Republican. In God We True, TRU had run out of ink during printing. All in all, it was an unsurprising death. A 17-year-old boy, his system flowing with cocaine, had snuck into the gig of a dead Kennedy's covers band, only to be trampled in the mosh pit during a rendition of Nazi Punk's Fuck Off. Once You're Dead, You're Made for Life was by far the most obscure of the bunch. The machine itself had actually made a direct reference to a book published late the year before, in which the phrase served to categorize cases of death and hardship. Symphony Anderson had been a starving artist, in the truest sense. Jim in the Eye was amusing to read, and difficult to guess without thinking about euphemisms. A botched car theft had left someone with a Slim Jim, a tool used to unlock car doors halfway through their brain. Heat Death of the Universe, his personal favourite. Clubbed in the head by a book about a woman's descent into existential crisis. What a way to go! Enough to make a literary nerd squeal with delight. His case had become the reservation for the final page in his book. It had been 2 weeks since his edict had been passed to him on a tiny slip of paper doom. Puzzle Incorporated, a massive conglomerate that hid inside a buzzing glass hive emblazoned with huge steel letters, had asked him to come in for a consultation. And as he stared up to the towering building before him, a looming shadow, shaped much like the letter C, grew beneath his feet. He died doing what he loved. Puzzlin'.